FBI caught covering up crucial evidence in Vegas with what just disappeared. Here's what they're hiding. As the nation attempts to process the most deadly mass shooting in our history, many are still searching for answers. Citizens across the nation were taken aback when they heard that a gunman had opened fire, killing or injuring hundreds of concertgoers earlier this month. The death toll was almost 60, and there were more than 500 injured. The initial report from the scene were a jumble of first-hand accounts overlaid with the terror felt by those who watched their friends and family shot before their very eyes. What makes matters even more confusing is the fact that the first-hand accounts and the official statements aren't lining up. Maybe it was the confusion of the moment, or maybe there was a little more to it than we're being told right now. Despite the limited information being released to the press, many are suspecting that what really happened that night is being kept secret by the powers that be. If the conflicting first-hand accounts weren't enough to raise suspicion, Paul Joseph Watson of InfoWars reports that social media is erupting with workers from the concert who had their personal devices returned to them completely wiped clean. Workers at the Route 91 festival, during which Stephen Paddock unleashed his massacre, have reportedly been given back their phones and laptops by the FBI, only to discover that all messages and videos from the night of the attack have been wiped clean. According to a Las Vegas resident who posted a status update on Facebook, a bunch of people that worked the Route 91 said they got their cell phones back today. They all said that all their phones are completely wiped clean. All messages and info from that weekend are completely gone. Anyone else experiencing this? A few different people who were vendors there are all saying the same thing, the woman later comments. A bunch of people that worked the Route 91 said they got their cell phones back today. They all said that all their cell phones are completely wiped clean. All messages and info from that weekend are completely gone. Anyone else experiencing this? Don't know, but a few different people who were vendors there are all saying the same thing. There are a lot of things that could be confusing when you're in the middle of a catastrophe like the one that took place in Las Vegas, but the haze should be cleared by the time you've left the scene and had your personal electronics confiscated and then returned. But perhaps this rather disturbing report was an accident, or maybe there's a good reason for it. InfoWars goes on to tell that at least one vendor had what they're considering a good explanation for what happened. Later in the thread, a Route 91 worker confirms the story, commenting, "Of course, it's an active federal crime scene. They can wipe it clean. I was the beverage manager for the entire event. My laptop is wiped clean." Of course, there you go. It's wiped clean. InfoWars was apparently contacted by another individual who told us the same story. Both individuals asked that their names not be revealed. The fact that all the information relating to the massacre has been deleted is sure to prompt further claims of a cover-up. While some assert that the feds wiping data is a routine part of their investigation procedure, if authorities want to stop the many conspiracy theories circulating about the attack, they're not doing a very good job of it. Without clear information from the scene, or even just a consensus from authorities at the scene or the FBI, we really don't know what to think. If the idea was to keep Americans from freaking out, this might not have been the way to do it. This is not a case where no news is good news. Americans want answers not just because we're curious, but because we need to know that this won't be happening again anytime soon. As Ann Coulter notes, the media's treatment of the story and the constantly changing official narrative is only serving to make people more suspicious. I don't know what happened, and apparently neither do the cops, but it's kind of odd that we keep being told things that aren't true about the Las Vegas massacre, from the basic timeline to this weird insistence that Paddock made a good living at gambling, writes Coulter. She points to many questions that remain unanswered about the attack, including why Paddock checked into the hotel days earlier than authorities first said he did, why he was wearing gloves if he planned to commit suicide, and why Paddock chose to unload 200 rounds into the hallway at a security guard who was checking on someone else's room before beginning his massacre. In the case of an ongoing investigation, it's understandable that some information would be kept from the general public as a way of helping ensure the investigation has as few issues as possible. What is problematic is the gag order combined with the sheer amount false information being spread. Whatever authorities want us to believe, it's a safe bet that it's a strictly monitored narrative. It makes one wonder if the true story behind the Las Vegas massacre would have been solved if someone had been looking for answers instead of fussing over the information they already have. That's very, very true. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.